Whoops, I started the video before I cleaned up this junk. Alright, here we go. Welcome to my quarterfinal match in the Dominion Online tournament. I'm playing RTT, someone who will be familiar to longtime viewers of my video, someone who I've played in League many times and in other tournaments as well. One of the strongest League players ever, and so we should have a good match, hopefully. And RTT is getting something to drink, so yet again I've timed the beginning of the recording quite poorly. But that's okay. I can look up who we would play. The winner of this match will play the winner of Dingen versus Siami. So anyway, that's a bit of information that we now have. Okay. I guess you built to some kind of merchant guild thing. I mean, you could try rebuild, but it's not especially exciting. And you can outscore anything with conquest, I guess, eventually, though. May have a little trouble. I mean, part of the problem with the build here is that there's nothing at 3 or 4 to help you at all. Essentially there's 5, 9, 5, or 8, 5 costs, 5 plus costs, and city quarter. So like 5-2 would be extremely good here. Other than that, you could play excuse me, you could play rebuild, I guess. I mean, the build has to be extremely slow. Everything's so expensive. Academy doesn't really matter or help because your draw is a village. Grave Robber has some interactions with rebuild, which may be useful. I mean, if you're playing rebuild mirrored, it may be useful. If you're playing rebuild unmirrored, then you probably just want another rebuild to end the game faster. This is kind of awful. You can also even skip rebuild and play something that's a little more money-ish, but still contest the rebuilds with like Archive and Merchant Guild, I think. It's certainly possible. This is awful, actually. The more I look at it, the more awful it appears. It's not that awful. We'll still get to do some stuff. Great. So RTT has, I'm gonna have to play I'm gonna have to play the rebuild thing. Like, I'm just straight up going to have to. This was quite a bad draw. This was okay. So RTT is just trying to stay apace with the conquest points, and then I guess eventually the upgrade really doesn't do much, but the I guess the hope is to just be in points range and then maybe buy some provinces. There's not a whole lot else. It was maybe not the ideal shuffle, but yeah, if we don't find the rebuild soon. I guess we're out of estates now. I might still have one. Maybe RTT is the one who still has one. I don't know if silver is even worth it here. I'm gonna have a little better in-game control, but I really can't buy province. I'm not sure the silver helps, but okay, I guess we just win now. Okay, I trashed one estate. Trashed two estates. Trashed three estates. So the estates are gone. And I have... RTT has 2 provinces, so I have 4 provinces and a duchy. RTT has 2 provinces, 12, 21, and several duchies. Yeah. Okay, well, that was a stupid game. I'm not sure I really like as many conquests as RTT took versus like an archive or something at some point, but I don't know. Well, it was a fast game in any case. I was lucky to find on my last hand. It was stupid. Just stupid. Crossroads is both rich and the Bane. I guess that's makes it maybe worth picking up. Hasty Alchemist is kind of nice. You can do Scepter, Bridge, Megaturn. Scepter, Bridge, Grim, Megaturn maybe. Yeah, the Grim is okay. Kind of thinking. But you don't have that much. Okay. Do need to play the bridge eventually, but I guess I don't have to play it right now. It'd be kind of nice to get another gear. Probably Scepter, yeah, that's good. Okay. Do you need the scepters eventually? And I will want a Crossroads. This is really nice turn for RTT. This is probably good enough to win. But there's still more shuffles. The duchy's a little strange, but they're going straight for provinces, which I'm not sure. I would have just got another scepter if I were RTT, but they'll probably be okay. They dudded maybe. That's not so good. For RTT, great for me. Especially if the potion is not here. If the potion's here, it's not so bad. If the potion is gone, then it's pretty bad. I don't really super love the second crossroads. But I don't know. I don't know what else you're supposed to do with the groom here. Okay, they did find the potion, so it's not, you know, end of the world bad. Let me think. You would rather have drawn this a little differently, but this is still fine. Okay. We still have some extra actions. RTT is going to get the crossroads play this turn. What happens if we play 6 bridges? They cost... How much money would that be? 6. Yeah, okay, that's enough. I'm kind of surprised they had to play the horse. I don't know how much they can score here. They don't have a lot of scepters. They get 4 bridge plays in. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know. Can I beat this? 7 gains? Probably not. I mean, they can dud. 7 gains is the 3 and 4, so that's 18, 30, just 33. Because they have the 2 duchies. Well, how do we do this? We're gonna have to... We gotta play for like some kind of dud. Also, a dud that doesn't have... I guess we kind of have drawn most of what we need. It probably just doesn't work, right? I mean, they get 1 more point and it's kind of GG. even duchy, and they're gonna buy province. They top deck the alchemist. I did play it pretty conservatively, and maybe there was a turn where I needed to take a gainer earlier. I don't know. I felt okay about my play. I mean, this is like a half turn loss. His second player isn't crazy. Yeah, I mean, the issue is that another province is just half VP anyway. 18 is 36. Yeah. So I don't really have a way to outscore anything here. I'm sure RTT will get to province. I guess there's like they have, I mean, they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. They have like 9 green cards, so in theory you could get kind of stopped, but I don't I don't think that's going to happen. Also, this is just one of those where it doesn't, yeah, I mean, it just effectively doesn't matter. But I should take the duchies. I mean, what I did was basically correct. All right. That one also. I wasn't going to play Young Witch enough times to make up that. All right, well, there is Procession Lurker. Kind of a strange board. I guess you can play double tack. I mean, there's a few ways to make points here. I don't know how much I'm not super clear on how all of it will work. And how it, like, you can print, I mean, you can trash and regain 5s with Bishop, which is like a pretty good point engine. I mean, it's not as good as like gold's, but it does score 4 or 3 rather per bishop play. The payload for just buying provinces isn't super good. The piles can run incredibly quickly. So I think we'll head that way. I guess you don't have to play with Tactician either, necessarily. Cuppers is pretty good here. In a few different ways. This will be a strange one. I'm not sure on the opening. Enchantress could be a problem. You could try Enchantress Poacher. Cut Purse I think is also pretty reasonable. Cut Purse Silver even. But okay, this was quite nice. Should we just try and get the other Enchantress into the shuffle? We're probably gonna hit 5. There's a way to get around the goat or the Enchantress, which is nice. They collide. They must have. Now I'm confused. Oh, I guess it could have just missed. Or not could have. I guess it just did miss. I don't super love the silver. I'm in a good spot right now. Native Village or Lurker I think are fine. I mean, I guess you can play Council Room Money also. They just bought the Lurker, so they can't even. Play it. Excuse me. We do with the attack here. Slight bummer. I think I'm gonna just trigger and play the recruiter here. Get a shot at the tactician, get a shot at some of the other cards. Get a you know, do the trash. I need a bishop. There isn't a you can't go from 3 to 4. on the procession stuff, which is a little unfortunate, but how many cards are in here? Like enough that the Tactician and the Enchantress will draw something. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate we don't have a 3 here. That's going to put a bit of a damper on the procession stuff, but you can still play the 4 or 5 things. Okay, how do we want to do this? Probably Poacher. Might be Native Village. Let me think. Yeah, it might be Native Village here. There's another Poacher though. It's probably Native Village. A little cleaner. A lot less stuff. They did get to the Tactician. Pretty big deal. How do we do this one? Here the draw's not super great. Okay, we can set aside Poacher. We do have just enough actions here. Oh, it's a copper. I thought I had 2 Poachers. I just don't have 2 Poachers. This is not a card, not a thing I have. We can procession the cut purse, or we can procession the bishop. We only get to do 3 of these things, I guess. It's probably the Enchantress that we leave off. That or the cut purse, I suppose. I'm not fully sure on this. I don't know which of these things we want. We might want a council room, to be honest. Well, we did thin quite a bit here. We're not playing the Enchantress, though. Actually, I'm going to see if RTT will let me gain a council room instead. They're clean. They don't have as much stuff. They actually don't have any money payload besides this poacher. So that's not good. that doesn't bode particularly well for RTT's chances here. They don't have the silver even, right? Like, what it... I had 4 coppers still, so... RTT also has 4 coppers? I thought they trashed more coppers than that. They really only have $5? Yeah, there's no money. There's like no path to catch up here. Like they just have nothing. Some of the goats were a little weird. Well, I don't know. Like I mean, I had super nice Enchantress draw, so it's really hard to fault RTT too much. I guess here's pretty easy Lackey sacrifice. You're just building a horn. Well, Cathedral, I guess Cathedral Lackey is also a possibility. 5-2 maybe not your jam. Kind of thinking like if you get it's got to be fast enough for Cathedral to just be fine. Cutthroat maybe is a little annoying, but I guess I mean, delaying to get a Cutthroat, though, is a bit of a pain. The 5s are faster, much faster than Cutthroat here. And if you, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, you'll get the loots and stuff. I just don't know if you care. It could be okay, though. You may want it. I mean, it may be a reasonable, unique set of uniques too to get the horns up a little bit. Yeah, I gotta think about this. It's like Lackey's sacrifice is okay anyway. Then you don't have to worry so much about the cutthroating. I don't know that they're gonna set up. I guess the question is, will they ever set up well enough to like cutthroat consistently, and will the game last that long? But it's a consideration. I'm not sure it's right. It does even out the split. Like, we'll just end up buying the same stuff, I imagine. The 3-card hand, if you can keep Farming Village Lackeys, or like Farming Village Crown Lackeys, is quite a bit different than the 2-card hands. Is Cutthroat really going to scare me away from Cathedral? It might actually do it. I'm not sure that is correct, but if you're enlarge is not terrible here. I'm not totally sure it's better than sacrifice. I mean, if you draw, I was gonna say there are the lackeys probably push you above to that point, right? Like they got to be pretty good, or it's got to make enlarge good enough. Even here they whiff the estate. This still looks quite nice. So. They did find lackeys. See, RTT's getting a bit ahead here. Especially if they play everything. Yeah, this is stuff. I'm not sure. I might actually go for the empty lackeys angle here. Like I mean, you do want some of the farming villages, but you can support a lot of the lackeys through crowning. So I would certainly have been inclined to just do lackeys there, but this is okay. Maybe I should fit my words to my deeds. Now I don't have any farming villages, so it's a little different, but. All right, this is probably bad enough to lose. I kind of had to find some draw at the start of this turn, but I wasn't seeing very many cards, obviously, but I kind of had to find a lackeys here, I think, to stay apace. I could get an improve, which would let me improve the sacrifice. Otherwise, I mean, I can just hit 5 off the money. We haven't trashed that many coppers yet, but I don't think I have. I think I have 4 coppers left. Guess we'll find out. That could be an issue if it's not the case. Okay, crown, pretty easy crown and lackeys, I think, are the gains here. What I would do anyway. This is okay too. It's a little greedy. IMO. It'll probably be fine though. There wasn't any like really nice gain and play for me, was there? I don't think so. I guess I'm gonna move the sacrifice into a crown here. Kind of have to. It's a little bit of a bummer. I mean, I'm not super clean. But I kind of have to try and make up some grounds. What did they gain with the... Oh, another horn. I am surprised at the horn versus crown. I guess if you win this crown horn split really big, then it doesn't matter. You just... you're fine, but... Like there, you can limit the amount of provinces they can get, period, but not that far. Like they're not. I'm gonna be able to get 3 horns, so that's still 6, 7 province turn. Nobody is at. They do get another horn. I mean, I'm gonna push piles here and just see if they dud. Because this is not necessarily totally safe. No, he has 8, right? It's like RTT still has a sacrifice. RTT has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. RTT's at 7. I guess the other option is for me to be the one to present a threat for 8 first, but I don't know. I can't do that and have like more than like a 4 province turn or something. It's not a lot. So we also burned like some more villagers, then is gonna be okay here probably. That was a little unfortunate. That was like 3-ish villagers burned that didn't necessarily have to be. But what can you do? Yeah, pretty bad, isn't it? It's really bad. This is like unworkably bad. Even the yeah, like the sacrifice loss doesn't actually do anything for me. I guess I need like some kind of dud anyway, but what could I have done there? Yeah, I mean, I could have gone like lackeys into farming village, I guess, but I don't know if I would have drawn through there. We're gonna lose this one, but let's stop for a second. Yeah, never mind. I don't think improve is really very good. Silver can't be all that good either, but it may be okay-ish. I mean, if silver doesn't get us to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, if silver doesn't get us to 8, it doesn't matter anyway. We kind of needed to find a farming village in here. Or another crown. I guess I can play 1 lackeys even though it's sort of a duddy option. I just don't have the cards. And also RTT really does have the cards. So I think they'll be fine. I don't know if they got enough to have the pile out here, but they can't be too far. With like enlarge. I didn't count everything, but 7. I have 2 horns is all. So they have 5 horns. If they can enlarge, so that's 6, 7, 8. They should be able to do it. Particularly if they can enlarge and gain in play. This is all their lackeys. I don't know if it's all their draw. They don't even have to be able to gain in play. That just makes it even easier. If I'm counting correctly here, I think they have 5 horns, 5 horns, a crown. They just have to be able to like enlarge the sacrifice into the thing, and then they can empty the. Well, I don't know what their money is. That's true. Because they have to be able to do a duchy and they have to be able to do a 4 gain with their buy, I think. Which they may not have. I'm not sure. If they have another farming village, then. But there's one in the trash, right? Yeah, so they don't have one in hand. They just have the sacrifice. That was kind of weird. That's not what I would have expected them to do. The trash of this enlarge, but yeah, so they didn't actually have enough money to make it work. Because they could have gotten the. They could have emptied the piles, but not 1. Yeah. This was sad. This sadness where I don't have like 3 or 4 villagers still from this turn was bad. But it's not that weird either. I mean, you just have the 1 farming village. It's not obligated to show up at the start of your shuffle. It's that simple. I think I technically. No. I mean, I'll play for some kind of dud. The GMs were good. I think these gains were pretty reasonable. Not sure if I'm gonna really get to anything. This is okay, I guess. I'm gonna lower, of course. Like, I have to lower. That's all I have going as a possibility. Maybe this should have been a I could do 2 crowns. I didn't get to the... What would have been really nice would have been to get to the Night Watchman. What's down in here? It's like I have to gain another Night Watchman because yeah, I like have to gain another Night Watchman, don't I? Oh my gosh. This is like Lackey's copper estate. Or it can't be that, but it's like Lackey's copper Night Watchman estate or something like that. Oh, there's a hop. Maybe I'm way off on the coppers. There is another hop. Yeah, it's not gonna work because I didn't. That's not gonna work for a number of reasons, truly. I wonder if they'll let me change the enlarge and play Lackeys. Does silver help? Does anything help? I mean, I guess it's okay to be able to get to a... I don't know. I mean, I gotta play for a dud, and in the dud, I have to draw quite a bit. That order seems a little weird to me, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, well, RTT drew pretty good, so I think they're gonna make it. It had to be like a hand of horns, basically. That's not what happened. I don't know that I get there in any world. I doubt very much. I mean, they didn't seem to have a whole lot extra, but I kind of suspect that this was played a little too quickly. I mean, and they also can just stop when it's in hand, right? With the crowns. The crowns could have played more action cards or whatever. So, I'm not sure. I think the sacrifice of the farming village has got to be wrong, but maybe not. Okay, another hasty. I've been rolling hasty boards a lot in this. They've been okay. I mean, hasty Necromancer is a little bit of a village, I guess. Not very much of one, but something. I don't know. How do you do it? I mean, this is going to be a little bit awkward. I don't know if there's a real pile to empty for the paddocks. I mean, not by yourself anyway. If somebody's zombie, if we both agree to Zombie Apprentice our Necropolises, then we can probably build some pretty nice decks. We can probably chug along long enough to make it work. I don't know what you do here though in this situation where you can't actually build. I mean, you can make the game last a long time, but you're gonna have to empty something of your own. I mean, maybe the Necromancers get lowered enough. I don't know. It's not like you want a bunch of Necromancers. One is, of course, fine, but more than that is a little rough. And then beyond that, you probably just want like golds and figurines. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical that you can really. And militia. I mean, militia is good, but. I'm a little afraid of playing the Mason here. That's crazy to me. They're just putting it right in, which means we now have like, or I have access to a lot more village than RTT does. Whether there's enough draw here to like make that work is another question entirely, but that's a little bit, that's pretty aggressive to me. Oh, I really think Trickster is awful. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe figurine Trickster will do something. It seems terrible with Masquerade. And they don't have a mask. I mean, they'll presumably get a mask, but I'm not loving it. I won't lie to any of you and pretend like I'm loving it, because I'm just simply not. It's really very strange to me. So, but if I believe that, I should be able to back it up with some play here. One way or the other. Okay. Not the... So I guess it's okay, Zombie Mason, but... That's pretty funny, actually. I still really hate the Trickster. I don't particularly want this now. This is not the best draw ever. Well, it would have been nice to find the curse, of course. I guess the other thing you can do to get the paddocks lowered is to play Trickster more. Hmm. I might buy another Necromancer here. It would be okay for me to have like a Masquerade in the trash here. I think that would be fine. I'm kind of ahead on that front. That's true. I can just go hog wild on putting in good stuff into the trash. If I want to. Man, I really think the trickster's awful. So, what can we do here? I'm trying to think if I want to try and put the militia into the shuffle. Probably not. But there are some other things that might be worth putting into there. Okay. This is pretty good. I'm pretty far ahead. We need to get... Let's just make the Necromancers great, because I have 1 million of them. This is kind of what I was saying before, right? I mean, not kind of. This is exactly what I was saying before. Okay. We can't quite... I guess that's a question whether we want to get plus buy here or not. That's a question. We can have 1, 2. Yeah. We could get a couple Necromancers. I mean, I can attack this turn as well. It's like Militia 1 Necromancer or Figuring 2 Necromancers is kind of the options. The Figuring also lets us, I guess, do the full trashing. I may get hit with some scarier masquerades shortly. Is possible. I think I'm gonna go for the double Necromancer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. The trickster is probably friendly at this point. Okay, they're not plus buy yet. Do the horse. I kind of want to try to do militia into masquerade, though I don't know that I really have the draw to do that at this point. I guess I can. I think it's okay now if we don't quite hit that. We can set it up for later. I guess I can't really make great use of all of these guys, but that's okay. Okay, so the last card is a curse. Do I really want to kill the curse, actually? I might leave it. I may leave it. If it had been a horse, I would have gone horse. I would have done the horse remodel into whatever. I don't know if they'll play trickster again. They may. Otherwise, it's kind of nice. Okay. It's good. I think here I do... Well, I'm not totally sure. I'm gonna come to have regret. I'm gonna come to regret having left this stuff in. Okay, the trickster. Because they did in fact play the trickster, so. So this is either like Zombie Apprentice Smithy or just Necro Smithy. They're kind of similar. Or I guess horse, but. Okay, we got the nice draw. We didn't get to apprentice a horse, but that's okay. Actually, let's see if they'll let me undo that. There's some like potential sadness here. This isn't quite exactly what we want. but it's kind of funny. Well, this doesn't matter a whole lot. Can Zombie Apprentice Horse here? They did not have the village. They never will. Well, I mean, I guess if I empty, I probably don't want to lower the paddocks too much further, but they don't have plus buy. It's part of the problem. It may be okay for me to go ahead and empty the pad or take the 5th paddock here this turn and run from there, but I'm not totally sure whether the lab horse or whether the apprentice of the horse here is correct. But it's probably at least approximately okay. Even if we unlock villages for them, I mean, then at that point we can kill our necropolis, which is nice. One more horse left. Okay. Let's see. We haven't been playing the paddock. Or not the paddock. We haven't been playing the altar. Well, I should have at least zombie spied and tried to draw that. That was not correct, but... Here comes the horse burn. That's going to be... They get a turn at least. We can just pass the necropolis now. Probably. I guess it's a little scary. Okay, they don't have 16. The worry was that they would have 16. Or that was my worry anyway. Okay. This was a little scary. I think we'll be okay now, but we can probably play one horse. Curses are gone. Let's just go ahead and do the masquerade stuff now. We're gonna get to save a lot of horses. They had a few too, but we have double here. Guess we just pass back the coppers. Have I apprenticed yet? We could apprentice again. I'm trying to think if it's worth to try and play the distant lands. Oh, well, we're kind of out of actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the last card is a Necromancer, so we're not exactly out of actions. Actually, I need to think about this a little bit. RTT may have stepped aside. I think I want to play the distant lands here. Gain and play the distant lands. It shouldn't take... Shouldn't really mess with the draw too much. I mean, if they're bottom deck, that's kind of a problem. I guess if they're bottom deck, we can always just wait. Like, we don't have to... Yeah, or we can get super lucky and just have them right off rip. So this is like all horses, which is fine. There's a little bit, I mean, we're gonna have to probably pass them a horse, but the only other thing that maybe could have been done that turn, it might have been nice, is to have given RTT occurs. They can potentially do the militia thing, but they only have one. They would have to gain militia with altar, and they would have to use their other necromancer as masquerade. So if that doesn't happen, then... Oh wait, and they already did it. Never mind. It's just not possible at this point. I mean, they can attack me, but they can't attack me and do the mask thing. Well, now they can't. I mean, technically they can now, too. If they alter for a masquerade, they can do that, but... I don't know what the odds of that happening are. This may be wrong just because I'm playing it a little paranoid, but... Because, like, they're not going to devote... They don't even have the resources. That was wrong. That was just straight wrong. There was no way they were going to gain a masquerade and play it. They can't even play the altar and the distant lands. Oh, they already played the distant lands. Never mind. Gain duchy. They do have double. I mean, they can't really double, but, you know. I mean, they could try it, I guess. If I can get to 5 provinces and 3 distant lands on the mat, I don't think I have to play around much. I'd have to count, of course, but... That was for sure scary. Okay, and never mind. In fact, it is the worst, and I deserve it because I did the stupid thing. Well, the good news is RTT didn't lower to 2, which would have been the scary thing. So we can just pick up the distant lands in like a duchy, and it's okay. Well, we have to watch the 3 pile as well. Which would be... RTT has... Well, you can get a little extra too, right? You can get a little extra with the Mason, potentially. So that, I guess, is a little scary. Triple Duchy is probably okay. I'm not sure. I did dud though, which is a real bummer. That was my fault. I didn't count the actions when I made the militia choice. Let's see. They could play 2 distant lands, which would be 427 and Piper. Okay. So like we can't lower the distant lands because they in theory could gain and play enough of it and then buy the rest. Maybe it's okay if we do... Well, like I said, some of the things can some of the issues are from what Zombie Mason potentially can do for you, which would be a little bit random in this instance, but because if I get, well, they can't really play them. I mean, the issue, of course, is still that they can potentially do militia and attack. There are some things. I mean, they could do militia for sure. You do want to see them use actions. That's nice. So they only have one more Necromancer. I mean, if they can play, I don't know if they have money for that. I think there's a world where if the Zombie Mason hits something good enough, they can win. But they didn't play it, so that's out. So now they just don't, they can only empty the distant lands, but they can't win. And they can't Necromancer really. I mean, not very easily anyway. So having the paddock in hand also doesn't help all that much. Well, actually, that's not true. It does. Okay, so they also kind of had a dud. So we should be good from here. We just have to double. We have a lot of horses. Okay, I got scared there, but fortunately we were enough ahead in the points that it didn't really matter. I do have to play the militia to get the money. I mean, well, there are other ways for me to get the money, but you know. That the militia play is sort of needed. All right. We've just gone here. If I can break that streak here, then we'll win. Otherwise, we're going to have ourselves a game 7. This is kind of a board. This is some kind of board anyway. I wonder if you have the 5D, you just buy sack of loot and just go. I wonder if that works or not. Unfortunately, the 3s aren't super good. The 5s are really good. The rat stuff with these 3s is not maybe the most appealing thing of all time. Might still be worth doing, but draw is your problem here. But it's, you know, there's not something competing with playing mastermind bakers and artificers, really. So it's got to be worth doing to some degree. That's the dungeon. That's probably right. What else can you even do here? Can buy a 5. Can buy rats. Can buy an artificer. By golly, you can buy anything. These decks are going to be kind of bad. I wonder if you do dungeons into Sack of Loot and you just get the money stuff running. I wonder if that does anything for you. The trashing is pretty bad. You can't just have a million dungeons. If there was some other way, something else to do with the rats. But like changing rats, you know, changing a copper into a 5 and a 3 is still really, really good. If you can do that a couple times. Just don't know if there's time for it all. This would be the time to do it. Okay. Can I take the defiled shrine points? RTT will take them. The turn they draw their Sack of Loot, RTT will for sure take them. If not before. Does that matter? I'm trying to build an engine. I'm trying to like make it all happen. RTT's trying to play money. RTT might be right. Yeah, they're gonna buy. They're gonna take the points here. maybe is okay for me. Don't know. Let's put the rats in the shuffle. The other rats. I'm not gonna buy anything anyway. Okay. We got to start getting the masterminds like now. like this next turn. And maybe I should have put on... You don't want to buy province here, but maybe you go gold. I don't think you take a second sack of loot. Maybe though, if you think you're gonna have to... Baker's fine as well. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. Bit of a bummer. We just don't want to see the Baker there because we want to try and play a bit. This may be too late for old me. This may just not work, period. I think RTT will be fine here. I saw this deck too, I just didn't play it. I could have done it even off the bat. Like, I had good enough shuffles to play this deck quite reasonably. With if I gained silvers and used the token to get the sack of loot. This was this rat's dry Baker. That was pretty unfortunate, but that's okay. They do it again. It's fine. We gotta play the mastermind. So hopefully the Baker is here. The Baker is here. I was pretty unlikely to not find it, period. They have a 10-point lead and they're going to start buying provinces consistently. Which will make my task more difficult, I would say. But we will just pray. Why did I discard? We probably want to discard 2 coppers. Well, it probably won't matter, honestly. I can get a lot of duchies. This gives me hope. Maybe I'm delusional, but I feel better now. Maybe could have played 2 masterminds here. Yeah, I think I botched this a little bit. Also, why am I... Oh, whatever. One of these should be a silver, but that's okay. Also, we lost all the rats just like that. Boom, rats gone. I get sworded here probably. No. I can get a lot of duchies. I'm gonna have to get rats back. I think, or no, we can mess around with some nomad stuff as well. I probably shouldn't have trashed both rats. I'm trying to play both masterminds if I can. That's not in the cards. I play that way too quickly. Like very way too quickly. Like super very too quickly. We're gonna get sworded next turn too. I don't know that RTT is gonna miss province again. Well, they do have a lot of curses. Well, 2 curses. They could miss it. We'll see. They get to Courtier Sword, which is nice for RTT. I don't think this matters a whole lot. Okay, we gotta stay dedicated, committed. We've got to build up. If we could quintuple province this turn, we would just win. It would just be our game. The bottom decked mastermind was a real bummer. Won't lie. That one was a sad one for sure. Unfortunately, I am spinning the old wheels. What can we do? Again, we would like to try and play 2 masterminds, but the other one is not super nearby. We are, I suppose, guaranteed to get to it this turn at least. We could get a rats on top, I guess. Maybe. We don't have a lot of loose cards here. Truth be told. My develops have become not the most exciting cards of all time. And we have a small issue. Guess we don't have to play a dungeon. That's not like critical. Yeah, I don't have the cards, do I? We kind of have to play a dungeon, but then the artificer stuff isn't there. How do we get, we can't, we've discarded 4 cards. What's the copper situation? We have 3 coppers. Well, RTT may have trashed one. We have 3 or 4 coppers. Oh boy. One, two, three, 4. There are 4 or 6 defiled shrine points that I could still pick up in theory. I kind of wonder if I don't want to add to them right now, even though I would sort of like to buy one of Courtier Artificer. If we can do it in one fell swoop, that would be ideal. We really, really have to find one of the cantrips off these 2 dungeon cards. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Truly, we're in trouble anyway. But I have some faith. We're gonna have to get the rats back. I'll say that as many times as I need to. We can mastermind the mastermind, I guess. That didn't quite pan out how it went in my dreams, you know, but there are always other dreams. Do we develop into the rats here and then... RTT is going to have a buy to take the 2-point curse, I guess. What do we got left on points? This is 24. This is 24. So there's still 48 points plus some of the other stuff. But I have to like get everything at once. Which is difficult. I don't have to get I mean, the provinces are what truly are difficult for me. I kind of feel like you could have won with my deck if you play it good instead of bad. But that's always hindsight. The draw is such a problem. Do think RTT probably can take the Defiled Shrine points. If I could have gotten the Nomads, it would have been a little different. But, well, this isn't so much. They're going to up and then take it for 3 points, but that kind of, those kind of plays don't put as much pressure on me as some things potentially could. But let's see. I'm gonna have to win not this turn but my next turn, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if that's in the cards. You know, as I sit here looking at the cards, I'm not sure if that's in the cards, but we gotta believe. We just gotta believe in it. So we gotta play as many masterminds as we can here, and then go from there. Can we win right now? No, I don't think so. We also need the rats. Maybe we get another turn. That's gonna be a hard point sell, right? If RTT gets 2 more provinces, that's probably half realistically. So that maybe doesn't work. Oh boy. The problem continuously is that we can easily just whiff on finding any number of things. Obviously, the play is to do prosper, right? Gain a loot plus any different. Does that actually help? That'd be kind of funny if it did help. It might help a little bit. It's not the craziest thing I've ever thought of doing. Again, the draw is just gonna be a huge problem. But it's not completely crazy. We have to play develop on so many things. I guess RTT, no, RTT does have a dungeon. Honestly, the play here is probably just to buy nomads. Like, how do we get the... None of this isn't gonna work. Do I have anything? Do I have any tri-types, which would be kind of nice. Gain a loot plus any blah, blah, blah. I mean, it would give us more duchy targets for the develops. Figurehead, whatever. This is about as good as we're gonna get for trying to do a big turn here. No, it would be really helpful is if RTT went like Duchy Estate. That would be kind of nice. Now we maybe have another turn. I'm not actually sure if RTT going Duchy Estate is all that helpful for me, but whatever. It just, you know, there's just some world where it maybe opens up some different 3 piles. The 4 provinces probably just cannot be done, to be honest. 21 and 18 is 41, then I'd have to get... That's too much, actually. 1 more province is 47, then there's only 18, 21... 41, well, no, because I can't do both. 1 point on the curse. I guess you can get the curse and you can trash the curse. You can get there. 2, 6. Get there on the tie. 6. What did I say? 21 plus 18 is 39, 41. 45, 47. Yeah, that's still a tie. Though if RTT like buys province A and trashes a curse, then that's over. So that's a thing, I guess. But if we get And again, it still requires literally emptying every single remaining piece of VP on the board. Also, province estate is like half. And here, we just don't have that many tokens even, unfortunately. 4 provinces, 26. And we would need something. That's insane. We would need 6 of the duchies, 18. Maybe only 5 of them. 15 plus 24 is 39. Yeah, we'd only need 5 of them. That part is actually not so crazy. It's the provinces that are hard. So if we're going to go for it, gosh, the masterminds are not the draw. We would need, we're going to have to change the figurehead into province. And we would need $24. Though we only have to do the bakers, we do only have to do the mastermind develop twice at least. That's something. Because if we can do that for duchies, then that's good enough. It's just like how many cards will we even have in hand after we do that? Not that many. We'll be about halfway there as far as the... Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening this turn, so we have to play this turn, hope they either miss province or miss province estate, and play for getting the 2 VP tokens, trashing the curse on the next turn, and playing a lot of masterminds. Or at least a pretty good number of masterminds. I don't think we get there. I mean, we'll have a good number of silvers. We also don't even have the, we don't have the other cards in hand. So that makes it all a bit different. Because we still have to find the other develop. There is no world. Well, we could gain the other develop. I guess that's not the issue. Oh. I haven't been tracking RTT's deck to know for certain whether he would have 8 or not here. But, alright, we're gonna have to get... Oh, sorry, I really meant to develop. That was a nice undo. I mean, that's clearly an info undo, but here's the gold. We want to end with the artificer, I guess, if we can. Or we want to end at least knowing there's an artificer somewhere. This is going to be a problem, though. Everything I'm doing is going to be a problem. Alright. Okay. I mean, this is about as good as I could hope for. There should be an artificer in here, yeah. That's game. That's super game. All right. Too many things. I don't think I could have gotten there even if I played for the win there. I'll just check again, but 12, 18, 30, 33, 31, just 40. Yeah, we can resign. I think there's some secret way to do it. I feel like it was closer than it looked there. I guess we had the server reset. Cool. At least the game. At least we didn't have to recover it somehow. All right, well, we've got a big thing to finish on. You can King's Cash. King's Caches Oh wait, they're not actions. Never mind. I was gonna say that you could like weigh up the butterfly King's Cash like you can with King's Court. You can't do that. It would be funny though if you could. I guess you open Conclave Chapel here. I mean, ultimately this is like just who can get their draw going to do some of the attacking and do some of the VP gaining quickly. 5-2 is pretty good here, but not necessarily game ending, but quite good. The Chapel missing the shuffle is quite bad. They must have had collision because they're thinking, so I'm going to assume they have Chapel and Tormentor both, and there's like maybe even largely coppers besides that, and so there's like a real choice here about what cards to play. But no, not true. Not exactly. I don't know if you do patrol first. That seems a little weird to me, but all right, because I found the guide here and this is my Chapel hand, I'm actually doing just fine, which is nice. I'm happy to be doing just fine. I think patrol first has got to be a mistake, but I have to figure out how to get the Squire and some other stuff. Maybe we don't do Wild Hunt here yet, actually. You could do Throne Room. That was okay, actually. That didn't do too much. Fear is a little annoying. Fear is definitely a little annoying. How do I play this? I'm not sure. There's some nice draws possible from doing it this way, though. Or nicer. There's some like 2 copper trashes from doing it this way. The shuffle stuff is okay. I have the guide. They already have the second throne, which... Well, they have 2 imps, right? Maybe. Maybe they only have 1 imp. Second imp. Okay, they buy a squire. Let's just draw and see what we see. Okay. We have throne, imp, hanging out. Once we start to the preparing, it's going to be tough for a comeback if somebody's a little bit ahead. I don't know if I did that in the right order. So it's squire and copper left, I guess. We could get another imp via prepare. We can't imp throne here. We can throne imp and do squire and another, like do squire and chapel. Or squire and tormentor, I suppose. This wasn't perfect. We do still have the guide. If we don't hit a nice thing here. I'm not sure I played my last turn correctly. Mostly at the start, I'm not sure if I got the thing. I don't know if I got the draw to do it correctly there. All right, I'd have to go back and check. The thing with the conclaves and the thrones. I mean, if I draw here, I'm still in great shape. There's a real chance of me failing to draw, though. This is what we want, I think. How can we do this? What are the cards? There's Squire, 2 Wild Hunts, and Throne Room. Maybe not Throne Room. Well, yeah, there's a Throne Room. So if I draw a throne room squire, I gotta throw the imp. Unfortunately, it doesn't exactly work the way you'd want it to. But I like have to do it this way. And hopefully find the conclave, yeah. Now we got a nice... This was ideal. They still don't have a wild hunt, right? I guess they can get a mid-turn always. Is the thing. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Oh no, not butterfly. Ooh, that is nice. That is real nice. Okay. So it's 3 to 3 thrones now. I wonder... Do we go throne squire or wild hunt squire? There are some bad... There are some bad scenarios either way. I don't even know if you want another squire. If you can... there are some bad possible draws here. This is not one of the good ones, I wouldn't say. Depends on what the wild hunts see. I was worried about, and maybe I played too scared, I was worried about butterflying for a wild hunt and RTT getting those points, which was possible. We get to see 3 cards, which we may get through and not have buy, I guess is a pretty... I mean, we may just not get through. Not having a throne in this hand really, really, really sucks. Envious is fine. Wow. That's tough. For RTT. The throne, the ultimate throne tormentor. But they will be able to go like throne, wild hunt here, I guess. I think they have 9. One of these is a silver. Oh, that way, yeah, that way works too. You do like wild hunt. Oh, they prepare wild hunt. I don't know. If you don't have some threat on the wild hunts, you're in. It's not. I don't know. Maybe the payload stuff doesn't explode all that huge. There's some King's Cache stuff that's pretty good, but this is not a King's Cache. You can't butterfly into a King's Cache either. You have to earn it. Okay. Well, not too surprising, I wouldn't say. This is still kind of workable. I mean, this is most of the payload I would have brought to bear anyway, to be honest. It's not like I'm missing a whole lot. And we have Guide down, and we have Throne and Wild Hunt at least down here. Conclave, Throne, Wild Hunt. So I guess the question is whether we want to trash or not. Nice points lead for me. They can play 2 Wild Hunts. I can play 6, which is a pretty big gap on that front. There may come a turn where Envious hits relatively hard. Tormentor's not nothing here, because they may get war. Deluded's certainly not nothing here. Though also I'll be okay. I think there are some things I can do. King's Cache still increases my threat pretty well. And I can focus on doing the Wild Hunt points. They just take the points there, which I think is fine, but not, of course, super exciting. But they can even out the... They also don't have a chapel anymore, so like... I don't know if it'll matter a whole lot long term, but the states eventually can be a little annoying for them. They have the imps, but they don't have a guide on the mat. They can whiff, like they can full dud for sure. If they don't prepare. If they prepare, then, you know, then it's not such a big deal. Okay. Lowering. I think I'll have a 3 pile. I don't think anybody would have a 3 pile yet. I almost cried, like I got real scared there for a second, but it's okay. I think this is all my throne rooms. I think they have 5 and I have 4. Gotta think. You probably prepare the imp. We're gonna get one action at the very end of it all. From the conclave. But just one, so it can be. We can't really get all this silvers, which is fine. We really need $10, I guess. Oh, no, I have another squire, don't I? I have 3 squires now. So we should be able to do everything. Poverty is nice. Probably won't matter, but I don't know if I can actually do King's Cash either. Do they have a pile out? I mean, that's not very many points. But they would only need 16-ish bucks. I mean, that's not a pile out for sure. To get the points. Yeah, that's not it. I mean, they can play. Yeah, there's not some like tormentor trick either. Duchy emptying trick. No. I don't think so. I mean, I could province. I guess I could have played Fear of the Silvers. Because I can gain some. Okay. What do the piles look like? Or what does that... This is so many games. And a lot of points to make up. So crazy. It's such a crazy... I will scream. If I don't draw... I'm gonna not find one of the wild hunts. All the squires. This is not so good for plus actions for... Actually, I guess it's not. This is all in prepare phase, so it's not a huge deal. Or it's not much of a deal at all, really, I guess. I'm just gonna dud. I'm gonna lose this game off this dud, and just, that's it. That's the game. It's just Dominion. I prepared as much crud as I could, and I'm just gonna dud. I'm gonna draw 2 throne rooms on the imp and have throne, squire, 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 squire. And we'll lose. I know I have a guide. You're right, you're right. I forgot I have a guide. You're so right. Person in my head. Invisible watcher. Okay, well, RTT draws quite a bit here. I think I can get to 16. Or however much that matters. This 10 VP is hard. Or it's pretty hard. It's nice for me. Okay. I guess we'll take a guide too. There are some definitely also some hexes that can get involved here and be real evil. So Envious is still hanging out. And in fact, you know, off the double hex, there's like a reasonable shot it happens. It's still in there 8. You see a quarter of them. We'll just to see. Envious will be real rough here. But that's the game right now. RTT also has to hold an increasing number of, I guess the patrol helps get through that somewhat, though you don't have a lot of control of whether it finds them. Well, I guess with prepare they get discarded. You could play the patrol on a shuffle and maybe keep relatively clean that way so that they're in hand and you keep preparing them. Because you set aside the whole hand, even though the other ones just get tossed. Is this still in the prepare zone? Yeah, this is still, we're still in prepare land. Actually, that's funny. They're not going to have those junk cards in hand because they'll still probably be in prepare land and maybe not have the draw to pick them up at the end of it. Maybe they will, but... So they're just doing one hex. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Just doing one hex. The hex could be a real pain though. I mean, if it's envious, what do? You're stuck. I don't know if they have 16. They don't have that many silver. I don't think they have 5 silvers. They had like 2 last. They probably have 3 or maybe 4, but well, I have 3. They have 4. There we go. No conclave. Nothing else worth money. Just squires. Well, squires, I guess. But they do have an imp. I guess they could draw the a silver gain, maybe. They're drawing things, I guess, to make sure they have... Okay, that's good, that's good. That's good. I don't think they have 16. I guess they're gonna prepare in province. Okay. Okay. We have to guide here for sure. And we have to do a lot of thinking because we may have a pile out. We need 7 buys. More like 6 buys probably. $6 and $12. It should be pretty doable. We got to get the buys, but we don't need that much money. don't need that much money. In fact, we may already, well, we need it to gain a silver probably. Well, if we don't, I mean, if the copper on the king, if King's Cash copper is already enough money to win, then it doesn't necessarily make sense for me to gain a silver, though I can gain it off the chapel here. And then it's just a question of hitting the buys, right? And hitting the plus action, I suppose. Well, we should be okay on action because some of this is going to happen during the some of this is going to happen during the prepare step. Yeah, this is a wrap. Just $10. Okay. All right. Well, that was a hard-fought match. I was lucky. All right. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all for my next match.